Welcome to the Andy Ruther Show. Here is your host, Andy Ruther.
Welcome back to another episode of the Andy Ruther Show. That is me, Andy Ruther. I'm tired tonight, guys. I'm tired. I'm gonna be real. I am mentally and physically exhausted. Well, I jinxed it. I was like, oh, Molly's chill, man. She's a way more chill baby than Isla. Wrong. We've hit some bumps here in the last few weeks. She's got like acid reflux. She's spitting up nonstop. A lot of times, like the whole bottle she drinks, just like projectile, vomit, constipated. She has gas. She's had a terrible cold, just like Isla. It's just like, here's the thing. I'm just gonna be real. I know I've said this before. I don't try to sugarcoat it. All these Instagram profiles and these pictures and social media. Oh, it's so good. Like babies suck, dude. I'm just gonna be real. Babies suck. I'm gonna look right in that camera and say, babies suck. I said it when Isla was a baby. I'm gonna say it when Molly's a baby. There's not really any joy in a baby. And if you're gonna be honest with yourself, if you're gonna be real, you know that's the truth. They can't smile. They can't show emotion. They can't move. All they do is eat, sleep, shit, cry, on repeat. That's all they do. Look, don't get me wrong. It's so cool to have a human being, to have this thing come from nothing. This thing came from literally my nuts. Right? If you really want to break it down. Like that's cool. That's really cool. And now I'm holding something and it grew. It started so tiny and it grew in Brittany's belly and all those months and all that time and all the things she went through. But they still suck, man. They still suck. I don't know what else to say. She's almost 6 weeks old this weekend. It's like it's not fun. And I've clearly we've hit that point of just like, oh, this will be better. It's just it like you it's like you got to just get through it, man. You just got to get through it. But everybody wants to sugarcoat it. Nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about that. Why? No, it's like people are scared to just say, "Hey man, they suck. They're not fun." Where's the everyone like the joy? There's no joy in waking up in the middle of the night to feed a baby. There's no joy in a baby going nuts because it's constipated and it's gassy and you're shoving this thing in its ass and then it projectile shits all over your sweatpants on a Friday night and you just look at your lady and you say, "Oh, well, I guess I'm getting rid of these sweatpants," because that happened last Friday night. But it's not even the projectile shit or the projectile vomit. It's just like it's a groundhog day on loop and all you're doing again, you're feeding the baby, you're burping the baby, you're trying to get the baby to sleep, you're trying to get the baby to relax. Let me tell you how I really feel. Oh man. Well, it's the truth, man. It doesn't mean you don't have your moments. Like I love being in the rocker because that does relax me. Holding the baby, rocking her in this rocker that's in the baby's room that I had for Isla, that we have for Molly. I love rocking her. Or like taking you doze off while you're holding her in the rocker for like a quick 20-minute cat nap. That feels nice. But like everything else sucks. I took her for a 2-mile walk today. Like, that's nice. Was getting out in the sun, took her for a walk. But again, I can play with Isla. I can wrestle around with Isla. She can give me emotion. I always say, like, until they can show you a smile or a laugh or anything, they basically suck. But nobody wants to say it. Nobody wants to say it. I don't know why. Why does nobody want to say it? Not a single person told me, hey, man, it really sucks those first few months. Nobody says it. Like, I knew going in again, I'm like, this is going to suck. Nobody says it. Just the baby screaming and crying, and you're trying to change it. It's 3:45 in the morning. You're wondering why your neighbor's up. Why is my neighbor up? Why is my neighbor up? Guys, the old woman who I thought died, why is she up? Why is she up? 2 nights ago, I'm taking Molly from the second floor down to the living room to change her and feed her. And I look at my watch, 3:43 in the morning. All the lights are on in the woman's house across the street. What is she doing? She's like 80. 3:43 a.m. All her lights are on. She's walking around. I go, what is going on over there? What are you doing? You're an old person. You should be like, is she a cocaine? Do I have an 80-year-old cokehead that lives across the street from me? What is happening? Now, Gay Greg claims she's a drunk. If she was a drunk, wouldn't she be passed out? Maybe she is. Maybe she is a drunk. It's just odd that she would be moving out, about the house at 3:43 a.m. Even Molly was like, yo, what's this bitch doing? I was like, I don't know, Malls. I'm about to give you this 3-ounce bottle, and then we're going to do some investigation. That's another thing. You gotta figure out the right formula. We've tried like 4 formulas, and you spend all this money. You're like, well, this one gives her constipation, but then this one gives her the acid reflux. This one, blah, blah, blah. It's like, God damn. Can you just chill? Can you just chill? But I swear it's worth it. That's the thing. I swear it's worth it. I know, like, Isla's proof. I know it's worth it. And maybe now that you have a second, and you got to balance that as well, like, that's what maybe makes it tougher. Side note: we're out on the snoo. We're already done. I talked about the snoo. The snoo's done. The snoo didn't work. She doesn't like being swaddled. She doesn't like, you put them in that little thing and it looks like they're when you strap their arms in, and looks like they're in a straitjacket. She doesn't. She wants to be free. I don't blame her. So I gave the snoo back. We were renting it for $100 a month. We haven't really used it for a couple weeks. I said, snoo's not working. Took it back to the woman today. I said, you rent this to somebody else. I can't imagine. Can you imagine that thing is like $1,600-$1,700? Can you imagine if you spent $1,600 or $1,700 on that thing and it didn't, like, it was for like us? It didn't work. That would suck. But yeah, we're out in the snow. I was like, we just got to get through each day. No more snoo though. Let's get through it. Anyway, guys, here I am, Wednesday night. I'm in my pajamas. This is like my pajamas. I'm in my Nautica pajamas, which a lot of times I wear just regularly. I don't care. I don't care if it's a pajama top. I wear it. I don't give a shit. Who do I care? I'm a girl dad, dropping kids off. Kids are snotting on me, vomiting on me, crapping on me. This booch is pretty good, by the way. I highly recommend this Hum. It's got a lot less sugar. It's about 30 grams. This one's the grape, which I don't like as much, but I get this mango one, like mango peach or something. Only 30 calories and 8 carbohydrates, 7 sugar. They're not paying me for this, for the record, but I just wanted to say I like the I like this. It comes in a can. It makes me feel like I'm drinking a beer. Takes me back to the old days. The old Andy Ruther drinking days. Give me some of that Hum, son. Yeah, it makes me feel like I'm drinking a beer. Which I'm gonna be honest, can I just say something? And I don't know if it's because of everything with the 2 kids and, like I'm saying, you're just tired, you're physically tired, you're emotionally tired. For, like, a split second, I wanted to get drunk. Like, I don't know if that's terrible, but, like, for a split second, recently, I was like, I could get drunk again." It's been 11 years since I've had alcohol. I could get drunk again. I'm not for the record, I'm not gonna start drinking. I'm not gonna break my sobriety, but I had a moment. I was like, "Man, I miss just being an idiot in college. I miss being an idiot in high school. You had no worries. No worries." And you know what? I'll just be totally transparent with you guys. I talked about it with my therapist on Friday, and I was like, "Yo, man, why for the first time, like, ever in my life am I like, yo, I kinda miss high school and college specifically." I had never really missed it. I was like, I just miss that there was no restrictions on my life. There was no worries. There was no responsibilities. He's like, "Look, man, you have 2 kids, like, it's pretty obvious why you want to bask back in that and go back to that." I was like, "Dude, if I could go back for, like, a year and then come back to my life, oh, I would totally do that." Now, if I had to give up my life now and give up my kids and give up Brittany, no way. I wouldn't do that. But if I could, like, go be a senior in college again, the idiot Andy Ruther, the guy they called Dirty Dog, if I could go be that moron, that frat boy at St. Louis University, 2004 Andy Ruther, the just idiotic, moronic, carefree, doesn't care about anything except partying and trying to get girls. If I could go back to that, like, I'm not saying I wouldn't. I'm not saying I wouldn't. For like a year? For like a week? Even when I was in LA, there's just no responsibilities because I only have myself to care about. When you get kids, that's just that all changes, man. That all changes. But again, you always gotta look light at the end of the tunnel. You have to. If you don't, you're gonna be a very, very, very bitter person. So that's kinda where I'm at. I'm like, "Okay, you're almost 6 weeks in, just get through this shit. Don't just leave your family and then go to a hotel and go leave in Las Vegas and drink yourself to death. Don't do that." What was the joke I made to Brittany yesterday? I was like, she was talking because I told her all that, and she was like, "Yeah, I don't think about that stuff too. High school was great. You don't think I think about that? It's not just guys. I think about it too." We were leaving. We took the kids to the park. I said, "Well, let's just leave them here. Let's just leave them. Let's just leave them. They'll find new parents. Let's just leave them, and then we'll go back to our lives." Let's just leave them. Let's leave them. Let's just go to dinner. We'll just leave the kids. Like Isla is, oh, dude, she's out of control. 2-year-olds suck, dude. Talk about sucking. No, it does. She doesn't suck. It's just like the attitude and the terrible twos. That shit is real. Anyway, I don't want to talk anymore about that. I don't want to just delve too far into that. I already did. Let's talk about Hooters. Can we talk about Hooters? Hooters is going to file for bankruptcy. Not sure if you guys saw this, but I did. Hooters, this is what it says according to X. This is the trend. I'm just going to read it verbatim. Hooters, an iconic American restaurant. Iconic, that's kind of an interesting way to say it. Chain known for its theme service and wings is reportedly in discussions to file for bankruptcy. The decline in foot traffic and rising debts have pushed the company to engage with Ropes and Gray, a law firm specializing in corporate restructuring. Despite the financial distress, Hooters maintains efforts to engage customers through promotional events like March Madness specials. Here we are, guys. Hooters. We saw this coming, right? We saw this coming. Like, I don't know. Hooters was it was like a thing in the 90s, maybe even 2000s, and I guess the 80s before my time. But like it was never like a thing for like me or my friends. In fact, I could probably tell you, I could tell you if I had okay, I've probably been to Hooters less than a dozen times in my whole life. I guarantee it, less than done. Like I can remember when I've been to Hooters. I can literally cite the times I've been to Hooters. I probably went a couple times in St. Louis. They used to have one at Union Station in St. Louis in college. Um, I remember going to it once when I was performing in San Diego for a weekend, stand-up comedy. I had nowhere to go. I wanted to watch March Madness somewhere. I went to Hooters. And then a different March Madness. I remember same thing, San Diego. I was with a buddy. The food sucks, man. The food, like, everyone's like the wings are decent. Like, I've never had a good experience at Hooters. You're obviously going to just look at girls dressed in scantily clad clothes. That's what you're going for, right? I never really was like, oh yeah, Hooters. I don't know. It just never did anything for me. There's always been one right on the river here in Cincinnati. Let's see here. Is that one still exist? Does that one in Newport still exist? Right here on the river in Cincinnati. I've maybe been to that one a couple times. Yeah, it still exists. Newport, like a floating, right on the river here in Cincinnati. Anyway, I saw it was closing and I was curious. Like the idea of Hooters is still fascinating to me. So then like I went down a rabbit hole on Wikipedia and I had to. I was like, how did this even start? Like it's a wild concept. It's fascinating if you think about it. The concept is just, hey, we're going to have girls dressed like whores and horny dudes will come eat food here. And it worked. Absolutely worked. Hooters was created in 1983. So I'm reading the story on this. Of course it started in Florida. I knew that. Of course it did. This is like the most Florida restaurant ever. It started by 6 businessmen who actually believed, according to Wikipedia, that it was going to fail. Well, no shit. The first Hooters restaurant was built on a site of a former rundown nightclub that had been purchased at a low price. So many businesses had folded in that particular location that the Hooters founders built a small graveyard. This is pretty funny. This is really cool. They built a small graveyard at the front door for each that had come and gone before them. So the graveyard of all the former restaurants and businesses. The first restaurant opened its doors on October 4th, 1983 in Clearwater. So, and then a year later, they're selling it to investors, and then you know how it goes. They just keep selling it, and other companies get involved. I mean, let's not forget, guys, there was a Hooters casino that opened when I lived in Las Vegas. That's what's crazy to me about Hooters, is that like it branched out. They had a Hooters airline, which is absolutely wild to me. I remember the Hooters airline. They had a Hooters airline. When was that? When was the spinoff of the Hooters airline? Let me see here. It's got to be here somewhere. Come on. Where's the Hooters airline? Come on, Wikipedia. What you got? Where's the Hooters airline? Where's Hooters Air? Come on. Anyway, it ended up having up to 430 locations all over the world. It just shows you like the sex. You can just sell sex because just there's horny dudes everywhere. Like, never underestimate a horny dude. It's interesting that these guys thought the business would fail, and I understand that. But on the other hand, I'm like, horny dudes never underestimate. I mean, Hooters had locations literally all over the world, guys. I'm looking from the States to Singapore to Europe to South America to Indonesia to the UK. I mean, it's pretty wild that they would branch out. And again, they had a casino that opened in Las Vegas, the Hooters Casino, when I lived there, that lasted from 2006 through 2019. Who were some of the most known Hooters girls? Leanne Tweeden, Holly Madison. I mean, not like the most, prominent people. You guys got to see these commercials. I picked up some old Hooters commercials. I was watching some and I wanted to show you. The first ever Hooters commercial is the most 80s commercial ever. This chick is like definition 80s hot. Like, she's hot. She's so 80s hot. So this is the first ever. I'm gonna play it right here. This is the first ever Hooters commercial to air.
If you like what you see here on the outside, you're gonna love what you'll see on the inside.
She died of HIV, by the way. I don't know. She looks like she was like part of the AIDS epidemic of 1988. Like, I don't know. She looks like she might have died of AIDS. She's hot though.
The recipe for Hooters chicken wings is so secret, even our cooks aren't allowed to know it. Do you know why our beer is so cold here at Hooters? Because we keep it in the refrigerator.
Dude, think about it. That's a commercial. Do you know why the beer is so cold? We keep it in the refrigerator. I bet she ended up in that. She looks like she ended up in that refrigerator. Like somebody Ted Bundy'd her ass. This is what I think happened to her. I think she either died of HIV or she was murdered by a serial killer.
Hey kids, you want to do your dad a really big favor? Tell your mom you want to go to Hooters.
Okay, that part's wild. Let's rewind that. Hey kids. This is interesting.
Kids, you want to do your dad a really big favor? Tell your mom you want to go to Hooters.
Okay, so this was the first commercial. At this point, they had locations in Tampa, Clearwater, Lakeland, Jacksonville. Again, they're just crushing the Florida market. The advertisement on the billboard says wings, clams, shrimps, and oyster roast. So that was the first ever Hooters commercial. And then you see the evolution. So that was 1983, I believe, the first ever commercial. And then you see, or at least early 80s, then you see the evolution. This is a commercial I was watching today from 1996. So by 96, Hooters is like a thing. Dudes want to go there. Bros want to go there. I don't know who's taking their kids there. I vaguely remember that as a kid being like, your parents took you to Hooters? Like, man, what's wrong with that dude's dad? Like, I don't know. It would just be weird. Like I'm just thinking, I don't know. That'd be odd to take my kid to Hooters. But this was a commercial in 1996. This is where, like, definitely, again, fits the genre, the time. So the premise is dudes are stranded on an island. They throw the bottle out, probably saying that they need help. Here comes the Hooters girl.
What the?
Classic. There's a Hooters on the island that they're on. The headline reads, "A great place to get stranded." Those chicks are so 90s Hooters chicks too. And then we have this one here, which is 2011, where it's definitely more modern here.
Get down to Hooters, have a drink, catch the game, get yourself some
This is like an Applebee's commercial now. Now by 2011, Hooters has basically entered the Applebee's slash chili realm. You gotta get down to Hooters, girls that didn't make it in Hollywood, showing their titties at Hooters. Guys who can't get laid, the guys who don't get girls. You gotta get down to Hooters for our shitty wings. You gotta get down to Hooters.
Comes a girl next door, hanging with good friends and more. Come on, what you waiting for? You gotta get down to Hooters.
And these chicks are like so Hooters looking chicks. By the way, those baked beans look disgusting. Burger doesn't look good either. Like these chicks are like they're like 6.5 sevens, which perfect for Hooters.
So get on up.
Well, hold on, I love this. They're advertising that they have Wi-Fi. Ain't nobody on their phones at Hooters. Dudes are there trying to get laid.
So get on up and get on down to Hooters.
There you have it, man. That's the latest incarnation, or that was 2011. They had like Hooters calendar girls. I don't remember that. I know I talked about Dirty Sports. I did hook up with the chick who worked at Hooters when I was in college. The chick who worked here at the Cincinnati one. I remember I met her at a bar and I was like, where do you work? And she's like, Hooters. I remember I thought I was so cool. I was like, yeah, I hooked up with a girl from Hooters. It was like it was some badge amount. Yeah. Yeah, I hooked up with a girl from Hooters. Pretty big deal, you know. She works at the one at Newport, right on the river, across from Cincinnati in Kentucky. I wonder what the money would be like for those girls. Like what percentage of Hooters chicks transitioned into stripping? Right? You think it was that high, or just girls who were just like, nah, we don't want to strip? Oh, Chrissy Teigen was a Hooters girl. Oh, excuse me. Interesting. Oh, that commercial, by the way, that commercial, the first one was 1987. Yeah, they already had a few. I mean, oh, here's one. I'm looking at a picture of the Hooters on the Daily Mail. Here's one with Donald Trump posing with Hooters girls at the Donald Trump's Ultimate Deal Cash giveaway at the Trump Marina Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City in 2007. I bet he peed on all those girls after that photo was taken. What did they do with this? Can you imagine flying the Hooters airline? That's wild to me. That they had an airline. Again, just horny dudes. Like, would you trust a pilot flying Hooters Air? Would you trust that? I'd rather be on a flight with the 9/11 dudes than the Hooters dudes, than the Hooters pilot. Like, who's the Hooters pilot? Like, at what point in your career do you go down to being a Hooters pilot? And is that a step above or below Delta? They need to bring back Hooters Air with all these airline problems and all these flights that are crashing and near crashes. When are they going to bring back Hooters? Bring back Hooters Air. Like, how horny of a dude do you got to be? You're like, man, I just need to see those girls in those Hooters outfits on my flight from Orlando to Memphis. Like, Hooters Air. How long did that last? Let's go down, guys. I'm down this. This is what I do with my time now. You just go down rabbit holes. It lasted 3 years. It went from 2003 to 2006. Literally lasted 3 years. Hooters Air was an airline headquartered in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Of course it was. They were operated by Winston-Salem, North Carolina-based Pace Airlines, both as an ad hoc private charters and scheduled public charters. Aside from its unorthodox neighborhood chain restaurant tie-in, Hooters Air sought to differentiate itself from other carriers with a distinctive style of in-flight service. The carrier was marketed toward golfers in an effort to bring casual and tournament players to Myrtle Beach's 100-plus championship golf courses. 2 Hooters girls dressed in their restaurant uniforms were on each flight, assisting the traditionally dressed flight crews. Oh my God. The company advertised nonstop flights for most routes, including slogans like "Fly a mile high with us." Can you imagine what went on in those flights? I mean, like, talk about a pre-Me Too. Can you imagine the sexual harassment that those girls went through on a Hooters airline? Where'd they fly? During its 3-year existence, Hooters flew to the following destinations: Nassau, Bahamas, of course; Colorado. They flew into Denver. Florida, of course, was the hotbed. Fort Lauderdale, Fort Myers, or Orlando, St. Petersburg, Clearwater. Georgia, they did Atlanta. Illinois, Chicago. Indiana, Gary. Oh, wait. I'm not going to read all these. Way more than I thought. Ohio, they did Columbus. I mean, this is just wild to me. The airline is estimated to have cost Hooters $40 million. So they lost $40 million on the airline. Who was flying these things? I mean, is it drunk Denzel Washington from that movie that I never watched? Like, was it guys like that? Guys like you got demoted or something? Who's flying Hooters Air? And again, how horny do you have to be? It's what I keep coming back to. How horny do you have to be? You can't just take your 30-minute flight, your hour and a half flight. Like, dude, the internet exists, man. Go look at something. Dear God. Like, you're that horned up. You're like, yeah, I got to get out. Hooters, man. I want to see those girls in those pantyhose. Those Hooters girls in those orange shorts. And that 90s haircut. I got to see that. It's unbelievable. I would love to talk to somebody who flew on a Hooters airline. So I have a lot of downtime when I'm rocking the baby, right? Like, that's the thing. I'm talking about you sit in the rocker and you're just rocking a baby and you got your phone out because babies will spit up after you feed them. So feeding them takes like 15 minutes. And like our little girl, she needs to be held for like at least 30 minutes or it might all come back up. So do the math. If a kid's got to be fed, I don't know, 6, 7 times a day, the whole feeding process is usually about 45 minutes to an hour. So I'm looking at my phone a lot and I'm just you just get bored and you're like looking at social media and I'm looking at news stories, and that's why I just did 20 minutes on Hooters. But like I was opening Facebook. I never go on Facebook. I use Facebook because I run Gold Star has another brand called Tom and Chi, and I do some posting for their Facebook and their social media. So that's basically why I use Facebook. But every time I go to my Andy Ruther Facebook, which I haven't posted since 2018, I just see like everything pops up in my timeline, like comedians that I've been Facebook friends with from my LA days, right? For my 13 years living in LA, you Facebook friend a lot of comics, and that's how you like book shows locally a lot of times. Like, oh, you run a room? Yeah, I run a room. Oh, let's be Facebook friends. And then you message them, hey, can I get a spot at your bar or wherever you're doing a stand-up spot? And then, yeah, you can do a spot at my place, blah, blah, blah. So the point is I have all these Facebook friends that are comedians, like the majority. And lately I've just looked what shows up on my feed, and it's all these comedians, and like they're no-name comedians. I'm just going to be honest. They're like nobody you've ever heard of. And my new favorite thing to do is if I hop on Facebook, just unfriending these people. And in my head, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll never talk to you again. I haven't talked to you. I don't even know who you are. I don't know why we're Facebook friends just because we were in the LA comedy scene together. And then they'll post something like really political. And I just laugh and I'm like, you're a fucking loser. You know why? It's like, whose opinion are you changing? Especially on Facebook. Right? By the way, these are their personal pages. This isn't like something like an Instagram or TikTok or Twitter that could be reshared. You can reshare on Facebook, but nobody's resharing a personal page. And I love just reading some like 6-paragraph diatribe about something that's going on in the news. Like I'll skim it, and I don't know why, but I love just hitting the unfriend now and be like, you're dead. Like they die. I don't even know who they are half the time. Or sometimes I do know who they are. And there's something about not being in LA and something about seeing that I love to unfriend. Like I love it. Most people would just let it be. They're just like, okay, this person, whatever. I love to unfriend. I love it. I love to be like, I will never see your stuff ever again. Again, it's like you killed him. You're like, you're dead to me. I'll never see your, like if I pulled it up right now, there's just gonna be some rant. Well, Facebook's not working right now. Well, of course. Why would it? But normally when Facebook actually does work, you pull it up, and again, I don't think it's just a comedian thing. I just don't understand these people, especially with politics, that write these Charles Dickens-esque novels. And like, dude, you're not like, why? 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 The only reason I'm seeing this again is because I'm sitting and I have downtime and I'm just killing time as I'm trying to get a baby not to throw up on me. That's why I'm doing this. And I'm just like, why do they do this? Dude, nobody cares. Nobody cares. And then I'm just like, I'm unfriending you. I don't want to see this. I don't know why I get so much satisfaction off that. I don't know why. And it's not even just politics. I'll see stuff and I'm like, who are you? I don't know who you are. Bye. Bye forever. I don't need this. What's funny is when you start having kids, what you prioritize in life like completely changes. Like I can't get that upset over what I've gotten upset over now changes, right? Like when you're single and you don't have any other kids, your priorities might be this way and then they shift, if that makes any sense. I know I'm speaking in generalities right now, but like I might not agree with somebody politically or ideologically or any of those things. But like I don't get too worked up over it, right? Does that make sense? I'm just like, yeah, you're a fucking idiot, but like I don't got headspace to deal with this. I got a kid who hasn't shat in 3 days. I got to put my energy into trying to get a toddler to shit. Which, by the way, I like take a shit already. Like you haven't shat in like 3 days. We're doing all the things, girl. Can you just take a dump? Can you take a dump for daddy? Can we start a Facebook group? Dumps for daddy. Can we start one? You haven't crapped in 3 days. We've given you prune juice. I've given you the fiber little treat things. We exercised all day today, basically. By exercise, I mean she runs around the yard and falls on her face. Like, what are we going to do? Take a dump already. My point is, I can't like invest energy into this. I can't invest energy into what a politician said. I can't invest headspace into something. I'm just like, I don't really care that much. Meanwhile, some comments like, I'm sitting in LA at a coffee shop. Can you believe what Trump did? I'm going to write a 6-paragraph page about it and then go on stage in front of 3 people at an open mic. I'm so angry. There's a part of me that wants to start responding. I said this to one of my other comedy buddies in LA. I go, part of me wants to just start responding to these people, just be a troll. Just like, because they're not going to know me and I'm not going to know them. Again, only because I have the time right now during the baby stages. Like, just respond, just troll people. Like, like take whatever they're saying, take the complete opposite stance, and then they're going to want to argue, and then you just say stuff back, and you just keep engaging. Like, some of that's kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. I was doing it the other day on the Wall Street Journal comment section. I was playing a troll because, like, people they don't, on social media, people troll. People don't really go in the comment section of the Wall Street Journal to troll. And I was doing that, and I was having fun with it. And people were taking me so serious because the typical Wall Street Journal reader isn't someone like me. It's like an old dude who cares about their money and they care about politics. So I don't know why I was just giggling to myself. I was like, literally holding my baby, just going back and forth in the comment section, saying like I was pro Russia, pro Putin, all this, and then just like confusing them, being like, yeah, I love him. I'm sitting on Putin's lap right now. I'm petting it. Just like being stupid, just being goofy, just messing with people. I bet you were, you Gen Z loser. That's how I picture everybody. You're like fucking barking dogs. Like, go outside, dude. Also, you're arguing with people on Facebook or the Wall Street Journal comment section. There is like an art to trolling, and it can be fun. That's for sure. And I guess at my core, I kind of am a troll. I already have a 2-year-old troll. She's a troll. I got a 2-year-old troll. She's a troll. She's literally a troll. We will say that to her. Like, you're a troll. When Brittany says, give me a hug, and she looks at her and turns around and runs over and gives me a hug, and while she's hugging me, looks back at her mom. You're a troll. If I'm rocking you, about to put you to sleep in your crib, and I say, I love you, Isla, and she says back, I love you, mommy, you're trolling me. Like, you're a 2-year-old troll. I'm onto you. I know what you're doing. You're totally trolling me. So there's definitely an art to trolling, and it can be fun. But these people who just, like, who are these people that want to post a 3-paragraph? Can we pull up Facebook? I guarantee there's one. Why is Facebook down? How is Facebook down? Is Facebook really down? How is Facebook down? Is it really down? Can't be down, can it? Yeah, it is down. It's down worldwide. We're all getting the same thing. We're working on getting this. Come on, Zuckerberg, get it figured out. Somebody tried to commit fraud, by the way, on my one of my bank accounts last night. Somebody tried to buy pizza, $70 worth of pizza in Rhode Island. What are you doing, dude? Somebody tried to buy $70 worth of pizza? So let me pull up this Chase alert. Chase, you're on top of it. I got to check. I checked this when I got up to take a leak at like 5:30 in the morning last night, and I saw I had a text message at 12:52 from Chase. We declined a $70.35 purchase at Vasilio's Pizza. Was this you? Reply yes or no. And then I responded no. And of course, they had already declined it at that point. So that was 5 hours later. So somebody tried, I looked this up. Vasilio's Pizza is in Providence, Rhode Island. Somebody tried to order $70. They're open until 4 a.m. But like, what? So somebody tried to commit fraud. It was actually on my business account. I have a business account. Somebody tried to commit fraud on my Chase business account and buy $70 of the pizza from Vasilio's in Providence, and they're open till 4. Like, that's what you're gonna do, dude. If you're gonna steal from me, don't be buying $7 worth of pizza. And they only have 3.4 out of 5 stars. A lot of Google reviews, though. Here's the first one that pulls up from Vasilio's. Trash service. I ordered a large pepperoni pizza and received a pizza with little pepperoni and extra cheese. The pizza was rushed, and the pizza didn't even make it all the way to the crust. It was all in the middle. I called to complain, and the manager, in quotes, was rude and told me that the pizza was extra pepperoni and that she checked with the, in quotes, chef. We ordered from here regularly and have had mistakes happen and fixed without a problem. Super polite. Okay. Miriam is going off. A lot of shitty reviews, by the way. These are all 1-star reviews. What is happening here? Somebody tried to steal from me and order from the worst pizza joint in America? Why? What is happening here? I always wonder how they do. Like, how did he get my card? How did he get my check card? I always wonder how that works. Anyway, if you're a tech guy, let me know. We do have a hotline, so my techies can call that. 859-935-0078. Once again, in the description, as always, 859-935-0078. I'm always available at Andy Ruther on social media. You can reach out to me on Facebook, but only if you write a 6-paragraph message. Then I will definitely read it. That's the show, guys. Thanks for listening. Thank you for watching. Drop a review if you want to help the show. If not, try to steal money from my Chase card, but they will alert me. I'll tell you that. All right, guys, have a great night. Have a great week, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace.